One of the biggest things that's been coming out of the small groups that we've been walking through Soul School with is, what is this trying to show me? What is this lesson here? What am I not seeing? And what has been presenting itself and giving me signs and clues, but I haven't been paying attention? Finding the lesson in something is diving into your signs and knowings and having this idea that everything is always trying to show you something. Now, it doesn't have to be that deep. It doesn't have to be that metaphysical. It doesn't have to have that much meaning. But it also can't be shut down and totally blocked out and blacked out, because that doesn't serve us either. So, on this idea of a pendulum, we have to find our middle. We have to have our middle. And so, I'm in this place navigating change, trying to find what's the lesson. All these things metaphysically come up, like it's been 7 years this month since it was the end of my marriage, the end of the biggest relationship I've ever had. It's when I moved out. I've been on my own that long in this place. And now I'm moving on to the next place. And it's kind of presenting to me this idea through history, thousands of years, things have presented in sevens. So it has me wonder, like, is this a 7 year piece? Is this something that's happening because the big eclipse came and there was this big worldly shakeup and it was just time? Maybe. Is this happening because now's the time? Yes. What is this trying to show me right now? That I need to tune in and carve out the time to see what this means for me now. I can go on these whimsical pie in the sky theories and I can be totally in the clouds. I have people who come to see me with that. They're not connecting at that infinity, in that middle, at that intersection where logic and intuition meet. Some people are so locked in logic that they're paralyzed, unable to make any decisions because they can't feel what's right. Other people come and they're so metaphysical, talking to me about being in the 5D, the fifth dimension, the ninth dimension, having conversations and relationships there. And these, in this ideology that people believe with this, is that our souls can connect in another place, on another level, in another realm, some say on another planet, that we can go to that place and connect and then come back for information. I have no proof and evidence this is true, but I also have no proof and evidence this is not true. And so sometimes I lean in and I can carve out time to believe in this. And then other times I'm like, no, this doesn't serve me right now. So as these things come up that we have to try to find the lessons for, we also have to ask ourselves, so what, now what, for what? So what is this trying to show me right now? Now what am I going to do with this information? And for what? Overall, for what is this for me? Is it to show me a sign? Is it to show me a new direction? Is it showing me something to notice? Sometimes this comes up when it's time for something to come to an end. Like, we have been resisting shutting down a business. We have been resisting giving our resignation to leave the job. We've been resisting telling that friendship, I don't feel like this is in any era of reciprocity anymore. I don't feel like this is balanced and I need this to end. Other times it shows up when really long term, intimate, or really short term, intense relationships need to end, because it's just showing us in our knowings that it's not for us right now. And this is one of the hardest things to find the lesson in letting go and when things fall apart. There's a few expressions: things fall apart to fall together. We break down to break through. Fear is about false evidence appearing real as an acronym. Or F everything and run is another one, where we're not willing to look at these things. But at some point, we're going to have to. So either we break down to have to break through, or the situation breaks down to have to break through. But nonetheless, we always need to be asking ourselves, what is the lesson in this? And carving out time to retreat, to focus on writing that next chapter for ourselves, writing through. Yesterday, somebody got a hold of me through my social media DMs. Often people bring me crises, problems through there. Now, I'm not a crisis counselor. I am not a 911. So anything that comes in that regard is redirected, or I can't reply. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a clinical professional. This is not what we're doing here. We're building our knowings in our owl seek where logic and intuition meet. But this is somebody I know well who is telling me about the end of a relationship and saying that they just have no idea who they are, no idea who the identity of them is in this place anymore. And that is understandable. And what I said to them was, at least you've got hope. The lesson in this, even though you feel like you didn't see the red flags, even though you felt like you stayed too long, even though you felt like you knew before you knew, but you knew, that's one of the hardest things to do, is that you knew, but you tried and you had hope. And you had hope that maybe it would change for you. But in these situations, we also need to have hope that it will change. Because if we're without hope, then we're without everything. As so long as we can get to the place where we can see what this is trying to show us, or we create a vision or manifestation, and we get to that place in our mind where we can see something different, we can start there, then we can write about it. But if we don't write it out, goals not written down remain only dreams. And we need to carve out a path for that. So over in summer school, we are working on that through the Soul School as well. And we're putting these plans together. We're writing these next chapters. We're building them into businesses. We're building them into messages. We're building them into lessons. We're publishing, and we're putting them out as courses. And that's what we're going to continue to do. So if you want to join us, head over there.